the reaction of the Indian government to the COVID-19 virus. The first case was reported in India on the 30th of January. For 2 months, the government did nothing about the virus because it had other things to attend to. It had these massive protests, very much like the protests happening in America right now, against the anti-Muslim citizenship law, where young people across the board had come together. Women in city after city were sitting for weeks in protest. It culminated, of course, in an anti-Muslim pogromish situation in Northeast Delhi. That happened at a time when President Trump was visiting. And therefore, as the virus was spreading, when the logical thing to do would have been to shut down airports, airports were open, people were coming. I think thousands of people came in from America for the Namaste Trump event that Modi had organized. That the government is trying to change the narrative to make people forget about the economy, to make people forget about Corona, which is out of control here now, by ratcheting up its old Hindu nationalist, anti-Muslim rhetoric, by arresting students, by arresting activists, by preaching the most horrific, vicious, bile on the mainstream media that it controls. So they're going to sell us this hatred, pit people against each other more than they already have, to sell a story to a devastated nation. And you know that Modi can sell anything because he is so adored by this particularly powerful middle class and the media. While this kind of hubris of control, the kind of fear in the business community, in the media, every day you wake up wondering who's going to be the next person arrested. There was an anti-Muslim pogrom. The police smashed the Jamia Millia Islamia library. They made war against the students in Aligarh Muslim University with stun grenades, which you use in anti-terrorist operations. But the people being arrested are all mostly young Muslim students or left activists. And the narrative of us all being anti-India and anti-national and pro-terrorist is being spewed from the 400 24/7 news channels we have here. So the situation at the moment is pretty terrifying in terms of how we are going to have COVID and the economic breakdown stuffed down our throats, the 10-month blockade and the destruction of life in Kashmir, which nobody is talking about anymore. I mean, everybody's so broken by what happened to them in the lockdown. Whether it's the politicians, whether it's the bureaucrats, whether it's at the state level or at the center, whether it's industrialists, everyone's brains are frozen in a kind of fear because the minute someone speaks out, they get attacked viciously. I mean, being trolled and threatened and all that is just one part of it. But the attack is merciless. So there's so much fear.